So, is there anything embarrassing from your childhood that you would hated to have owned up to then, but are happy to own up to now because it might get some views?
As a child?
I have got one specific story, but I want to see if there's anything you've got first.
Oh, wow.
Not as a child specifically, but from your younger year. I mean, from any point in your life.
Oh, but about 16, 17?
I'm picking 20 years ago because it has no bearing on my life now.
Okay,
I mean, it could be last week, but obviously that might
I've got one that. So basically, I used to work for Woolworths, and we used to do around Christmas time 8 to 8, so 8 at night to 8 in the evening.
Sure.
And so then we used to get food halfway through, go Burger King or something like that.
8 till 9.
8 to 8. 8 at night to 8 in the morning.
Evening.
8 at night, yeah, through to 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Over Christmas, you had to get shelf
I'm going to make a big deal about the fact that you said 8 at night till 8 in the evening.
Oh, yeah, great, thanks for that.
That's right.
8 at night to 8 in the evening. 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 You know what I mean? 8. You know what I mean? 8 to 8, 12 hours. There's one day we all got Burger King. Sat on the remember the CD counter? We go to get the CDs. Yeah. So I sat there, and then everyone was like ripping farts and things like that, and I had something brewing in my belly, and I went to go.
Did you shit yourself?
And I full on shit my pants.
So.
And then I literally ran upstairs to the toilet, and no one thought it actually was real until I come down with a plastic bag with my boxes in it, and they were like, "What? You actually shit your pants?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I went outside and put it in the outside bin.
Nice. I mean, you could have gone and washed them.
No, there was too much.
That's not really that shameful, though. That's just funny. Also brings me to a thing. I was thinking one of the names of the show we could be is call it That Time I Shit Myself.
That Time I Shit Myself.
Literally, that was one of the ideas I had for the name of the show. That Time I Shit Myself. Because there's another vaguely successful podcast called I Sexted My Boss.
All right.
So it's not like a name. It's like a title of a thing which you expect to be just a clip or an episode. Yeah. But that's the name of their podcast.
Yeah.
I sexted my boss.
Okay.
So I was thinking of
that
names
time
like
I
that.
Shit myself,
that time I shit myself, which is kind of all right, but it's also kind of cliche. And it's good that you've got a story about that time you shit yourself. That works.
Yeah.
There is a time I now remember. I did shit myself when I was 15. I was at a judo camp. So we'd gone away for a week.
Yeah.
The family, I got mum, dad. Mum used to have a horse box that she would take my sister horse riding in, but also it had like living quarters in it. Living quarters. It's like a fucking caravan in an old lorry. So we'd stay in that.
Yeah.
Because she didn't like camping. And we took a couple of my friends with me from school, because this is when I did judo at school. We went to this judo camp, which was just like judo in the morning, judo. Anyway. And there was one time, I remember, in the middle of randori, which is free practice for those that don't speak judo. Or Japanese.
Judo chop.
There's no judo chop. I farted and I realised I went to the toilet and I had shit myself a little bit during a judo session. Luckily, all the shit stayed within my boxer shorts. But yeah, that was embarrassing as a 15-year-old, 14-year-old. Luckily, no one found out, I don't think.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. But that wasn't the story that I was going to tell.
Okay, what was you going to say?
I mean, I've recently occasionally a few farts that feel like stuff's trickling out.
They're called danger farts, mate.
Well, no, I mean, stuff's actually trickling out, but I realise when I get to it, it's just a bit of like sweat plus gas. It's not really shitting myself.
They're called danger farts.
And the danger fart is when you think you're going to shit yourself.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, I've actually gone and, a bit just did seep out. Not my hands, obviously, with the tissue paper. Which hand do you use to wipe your ass with? My left one. Why don't you use toilet paper? Dickhead.
Well, come on, let's get your story.
So, my story. This is a bit shameful.
Oh, God.
When I was about 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that, of the age to be thinking about ladies.
Okay.
Wherever I came across a porn magazine, I can't remember exactly where.
In a bush somewhere, that's where you normally found them.
Yeah, I did find one or two actually. To be fair, it's not like that actually happened. But no, I don't know where these ones specifically came. But anyway, they had the adverts in the back for like the phone lines.
Right.
And there was one. I only remember the one. I'm sure I called a few of them, but I remember one. It was called Dial and Shake.
Right.
I didn't know what Dial and Shake referred to as such and why it was a funny name. But
right.
At the time I didn't. I do now, obviously. I hope you are getting
it. Yes, I do. I'm not...
Dial and shake.
For those who didn't get it. Yep.
And so what I would do as a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever age I was year old, on the house phone, I would ring these lines. And the first time I made the mistake, I was like, hello. And you're like, how old are you, love? I was like, I'm 18. And then, no, I don't think you are. Or whatever voice you had.
Yeah.
And hang up. So, from that moment on, I would ring these lines and I would whisper. Because when I whispered, hello.
Yeah.
I've got to be really quiet. Because there's no deep voice in it. You can't tell that my voice hasn't broken.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hello. I've got to be quiet because I'm lying in bed next to my wife and I don't want to wake her up.
God.
And then I would just talk about, for 45 minutes sometimes, like how I'd like to play with her breasts.
God.
And I do this regularly. Anyway, after about a month of this, Mum and Dad were like, why is the phone bill £450? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, what's these phone numbers? Blah, blah, blah. Eventually they worked out that it was this porn line. And they realised I was the only person that might have done it.
and I was like, yeah, it's, and I didn't even shake. That's the problem. I didn't realise what I was doing.
Oh my God.
I was just talking to these women, and I wasn't even masturbating. I was just ringing up these sex phone lines and having chats with them for hours, it seemed. And yeah, Mum and Dad found out and they were a bit unhappy about the phone bill. Obviously, back then we had a little bit of money, so they just sort of paid it and told me off and didn't do it again.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But I mean, it was like 450 quid. But it was a bit shameful.
I mean, no, I don't know if it's shameful. I'm more of... So, obviously, when I was young, so about 13, 14, maybe 15, I was a bit of a late bloomer with girls and a bit shy.
Feel free to comment any shameful stories you might have. You can do it anonymously.
And I used to be... So, when we used to go out...
You can do it anonymously, to be fair.
We used to come back past my house. So, I used to be so worried about my mum catching me kissing a girl outside my house that I always used to together and go, oh, my mum's text me. I've got to go home now. So, I'd have to run off. So, I got home. So, I was never outside my house. I used to lie to the girl and say... My mum's messaged me, I've got to go home now. So I avoided kissing them outside my house. Because I was...
Why was it shameful?
Not shameful, just... it's not very nice on them, is it?
I guess so, but I guess at the same time you did it alright so their feelings wouldn't be hurt. They might think you're a bit of a douche. Like, fucking run to your mummy.
No, you don't run to my mummy. Why can't you
fucking be a naughty boy and kiss me now? Or whatever. Or why can't I come to your house?
But don't start repeating your talk on the old 10-year-old chat lines. Jesus.
10-year-old chat lines?
Yeah, well, you talked to the woman when you was 10 on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be a naughty boy? I am a naughty boy.
No, let's talk about what I'd like to do with her boobies.
God.